The Ahmadiyya Muslim community held its annual Canadian convention in Toronto from July the 2nd to the 4th this year. 2 Grand Falls, Windsor residents attended that conference. One of them wasn't a likely participant. Mayor Al Hawkins traveled to Toronto to speak at the conference. He was invited by Dr. Boudin, a member of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. Mayor Hawkins and Dr. Boudin join me now on the line to talk about it. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Leon.
Dr. Boudin, I'll start with you. What was the annual conference all about?
Well, the annual conference has been going on. This is the 34th year that it happens in Canada. But it's all about values and our importance in society.
Why did you choose to invite Mayor Hawkins to go with you?
Well, because Mayor Hawkins is a high-profile person, and he represents the beautiful town of Grand Falls, Windsor. And as you know, I am an unofficial ambassador of this town, and I like to show my community in Canada what type of people we have over here. And, a person represents his community. Once they see that type of person, they know what type of community we live in.
Now, Mayor Hawkins, what was your role at the conference?
Well, basically, Leanne, I brought greetings from the town of Grand Falls, Windsor, and basically talked a bit about the town. It was certainly for me an honor to do that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm probably the first Newfoundland mayor to have spoken at the conference, and it was it was quite interesting. It's the largest audience that I've spoken to. We had about 20,000 in attendance, and I guess there's probably maybe millions watching by TV, so it was somewhat, could have been intimidating, but I took it as an opportunity to talk about Grand Falls, Windsor, to talk about basically the multicultural community that we have. We're a community of inclusion, and the other thing I wanted to talk about is love and peace and brotherhood, and how our community allows people to come in and be able to practice their religions, their culture, without having any fear of persecution, and that's a big message that we want to get out.
Well, it's quite the audience. What kind of reception did you get?
Very, very positive, and I must say it was. I was treated with royalty, and I was so very pleased that the national president, Mr. Malik, took time actually out of his busy schedule. It was, I think, 10:30 at night, but Dr. Boudin and his family and Joan and he took time and spent about 15 minutes with us, and I tell you, it was great. And we had a tour of the Peace Village and the mosque, and it was absolutely a super weekend for me, and I just counted it an honor to be able to talk about Newfoundland, Labrador, and more specifically Grand Falls, Windsor, and what we have to offer there.
Were there any other representatives from Newfoundland and Labrador at the conference?
No, not this particular one. Last year, MP Scott Sims was there. But this year, I was the only one that, outside of course, Dr. Boudin and his family, that would be representing Newfoundland and Labrador.
Dr. Boudin, what's the benefit of having non-Muslim people present at the events and conferences that your community is holding?
Well, as you know, Leon, we live in a different world, in a global village now, and if we want to survive, we have to survive in mutual respect. What we see going on in the world today, people killing each other in the name of faith, is a very sad event. And the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, like I'm sure many other communities, have always encouraged interfaith dialogue. And as Alan mentioned, we are also inclusive in nature. And when we bring along other people and they listen to our message of love for all, hatred for none, and we listen to them in mutual respect, I think it creates a very good atmosphere of peace and potential progress in the future. So this is why we always include, non-Muslims. And I must say, it's not only non-Muslims, people of no faith also. We may have faith or no faith. We are all human beings. And we share so much in common. So much so sometimes people are not aware of that. So only when you meet, greet in a nice environment, you can see those beautiful qualities in people. Then also I want to mention we were not too from here. Alan and Joan was also there.
Yes, she was. Yeah, my wife was.
We want to research.
Couldn't leave her out, right?
So, Dr. Boudin, how did Mayor Hawkins do with his speech?
Well, Mayor Hawkins is a seasoned speaker, right? So I was very proud and very privileged that Newfoundland was represented. As always, he went beyond expectation, and he showered a few praises on me that I didn't deserve. But apart from that, I am very thankful to him and his wife to have come from such a long way. And, travel is not easy these days, especially in the summer season. They had delays while coming and going, but I think these are things to be expected. But despite that, I think it was wonderful. And in the name of the president of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, I want to thank them both for having taken time and to be there.
Mayor Hawkins, what do you hope to achieve by attending an event like that? Would you like to see people consider becoming part of the community in Grand Falls, Windsor?
Well, the thing, and that's the invitation that I gave, Leanne, is the fact that, Dr. Boot and his family has been here in Grand Falls, Windsor, and they love the town, and it is a great town to live in, and we're finding more and more people today, because, with the skill sets that we require in employment and opportunities in employment, and that was one of the things I wanted to talk about as well. I mean, we have tremendous potential here in Grand Falls, Windsor, and we want to make sure that when people come into this community, and we have a great multicultural committee that's set up that makes people feel at home when they do come here, and gives them an opportunity to showcase some of their culture, some of the things the foods and the way they practice, and the thing about one of the things that we highlighted and one that we talked about, and I did an interview with the Pakistani TV, is the fact that just over a couple of months ago, we all heard about the massacre that happened in Pakistan. I mean, that's sad. I mean, and the Pakistani government still has rules in place that allow persecution of the Ahmadiyya community, and I mean, that's sad. I mean, our governments have got to start taking some action, and this in this day and age, I mean, that's not acceptable. And the thing about it is we have to get more people's got to begin talking about that. More people's got to get involved in these situations, and if we're going to be, if this world is going to be a world of peace, then we've got to learn to get along with our brothers and our sisters and our neighbors.
Well, it sounds like you made at least one inroad into accomplishing that, and I thank you both very much for talking with me about it.
Well, it's been my pleasure this morning.
And thank you for having us, Leon.
Okay, bye-bye now, and have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And that's Al Hawkins. He is the mayor of Grand Falls, Windsor, and Dr. Boudin practices also in Grand Falls, Windsor.